welcome back to another Moon's Magical Builds. I'm back with all my blocks because today we're doing part 2 of the terracotta giant block builds. I hope you guys are ready for this, and yeah, I'm not gonna dawdle around. We're gonna jump straight into the time lapse. The second half of the glazed terracotta are now finished, so let's take a look at them in detail and as I explain my block choices and all that fun stuff. So first off is the pale gray or light gray terracotta, and this one was pretty good, pretty easy. There's a lot of different like gray textures in it, and I kind of just made it two different types because I had two types of gray, and the earthen or normal terracotta just did not look good with this build, with this palette. They just did not fit, so I only had 2 grays to work with, and of course I had the cyan, which fits perfectly into this, and this is what it looks like in a bit closer up. I'm pleased with this one. It looks pretty much as it should. Now this one's interesting in the sense that it's this type, which is it's the same on 2 corners, except for the creeper faces, so I did decide to bring it out, even though I probably didn't have to. But this is what it looks like on the block. As you can see, the colors are not quite right, even remotely. Like, I'm pretty sure the light blue was supposed to be the cyan, and maybe I should have used a darker blue or something. I could have done this better, but I gave it my best at the time, and yeah, I would redo this one if I had the opportunity with a different color palette, but at least the creeper faces are spot on. Next up we have the purple one. Now the purple one was interesting in the sense that it was hard. It was really hard to get the colors right. Thankfully I do believe the white, which I think is blue, it's just blue. The blue earthen block, or light blue, earthen block does look, or which is terracotta, does look really good. Like, it fits that color, that lighter purple color with the darker purple as well. So I do think overall it turned out well. There's just like so it's just not quite right because this needs to be slightly more purple, but it is the closest block I could find for this build, and overall it looks like the purple terracotta. I think you'd be able to recognize it. Now this one I feel like I got pretty good. Now there is another shade of blue inside like the center part, but I could not find that shade of blue and make it work, and I realized it just looked better if I removed that color completely. So there is a shade of blue that's missing, but it still looks a lot like the, what is this color? Is this just the blue? Yeah, it does just look a lot like the blue terracotta, glazed terracotta, so I think overall it turned out really well compared to some of these others. Up next we have this one, which looks again like it, but it's this color. It's this, I used light gray, and it doesn't look quite right. It looks too light, or I guess it's not bright enough maybe? I don't know, it blends in well in this block. It's supposed to actually stand out, and it doesn't in my giant version. So I'm really disappointed in that, but this was the closest I could find. Otherwise, I did manage to get like a color equivalent for every color that's in this block, and the design wise it looks exactly how it should. This looks like I think this is the brown one, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, the brown porcelain. It looks just like it. Yeah, I just wish that I had a block here that would have standed it out a bit more in the build. Next up, we have lime green. Or nope, this is just normal green, my bad. We have the normal green, which was hard. As you can see, it's so wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels. I'm missing a green color. I could not find it. And then as I was building, I'm pretty sure I got some color mixed up. Like, there should be tons more detail, especially in this area. So this one's probably one of my least favorite replicas. This section it's wrong. At least I managed to keep it the same on all 4 corners, so kudos to me for that. It's even the same up here, but overall it just does, you can tell it's the green porcelain, but you look at it and you're like, it's not quite right, and I would agree with you, it's not quite right. I was missing a shade of green, and for the life of me could not pick one out that worked. Next up we have this one, which is actually really fun to make, just because it's really swirly and the swirls were fun to do. It's another one where each side is absolutely different. All 4 sides none of them are the same, even remotely. None of them corner up. So that was an interesting challenge, but the swirls are so much fun to do. You just go in swirls and then you build it up. I had a little height problem where I got confused with the height for a while, which made me sit for a bit, but I managed to figure it out, and then I was good to go. And each side got easier and easier as I went, as I got used to the swirl pattern. And the swirl pattern is so much fun, and I think I got the colors pretty spot on. So I was really pleased with that, and I managed not to get confused with any of the colors, which was my worry. And I like how this white terracotta actually looks kind of pinkish, which is exactly as the white looks here. It's not pure white, it's a pinkish white. So the white terracotta just fits in so perfectly with this block, and it made me very happy to see it. And now we have our last one, which I kind of did something different. There is 2 shades of gray in this, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted to bring the black more in. So as you can see, up here is a different shade from down here, and I just switched it halfway. I switched the gray from being the background block to the black at some point. Mind you, the divider is very clear, so they don't like mix up. But at some point, I just switched the gray and black out, so that way I could have this gray piece without having to add in another shade of gray. I kind of like this version better, more so than this one. This one has a better fade effect, I guess, than the bigger block, but this one definitely screams black porcelain more than this one. This one you might think, oh, it's like red or gray, but your first thought isn't usually black. But, well, this giant one, I feel like your first thought would be, oh, this is black, or this is black porcelain or black hardened terracotta. So I like my version better, and it was kind of fun to reimagine it slightly so that way I could remove one of the grays and add in more black. But that is all of my the last 8, so that ends this series of doing the hardened terracotta, since we've now done all of them. Check out the first episode if you want to, where we did all of these. And yeah, I'm really happy, really pleased with how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I also hope that I will see you next time for another Moon's Magical build. I have some exciting builds planned in the future. And yeah, I also hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!